Hey everyone, welcome to the Bob Randall and Company Live Preview Show for Monday. This is episode 4 of our season 2, February 27th, 2023. If you would at this time, please welcome my co-host, the wonderful, talented Mr. Randall Santa Checker Lee.
Always a long intro, Bob, but thank you always so much. It kind of, builds that ego up like crazy. It's fantastic, Bob. Good to see everybody. Welcome, everybody. I'm so glad we got a bunch of people on already. Hello, Bob and Mangela. Good to see everybody in this wonderful Monday. Can you believe February's almost over? Ready to go.
Crazy. And uh-oh, hang on a minute.
What are we supposed
Sorry
to
about
hang?
that.
Oh, no problem.
I put in some clapping and it started running something right behind it. Ooh. All right. Well, fantastic. Yeah. Hey, man, here today it is beautiful. We had a little bit of a front move through last night, cool things off somewhat. Not really cool, but I mean, it dropped it a few degrees. Got a little bit of rain, but the sun's out today. Beautiful day outside. And, I told you last week that you had a storm coming. Did it hit you?
Oh, we had a horrible last Wednesday. We had in the Michigan area over over 600,000 houses without power. There's some people
Wow.
that are still out since last Wednesday. And today we had freezing rain and sleet and snow again today. It was up to 50 some degrees yesterday, and we had sleet and snow and everything. I didn't even left the house today. I just didn't want to go out in this stuff. Man, it's crummy right now. It's that February and March. We get such a roller coaster. It wants to say it's nice, and no, it slaps you in the face that you know we're still Michigan. You know?
Yeah,
Still
and
winter.
we have the same thing, but we don't have it to the exact extreme you do. Ours fluctuates 5 or 10 degrees, and it's not real bad now. Although, again, they are forecasting that long-term forecaster that I watch. The first 2 weeks in March is going to be something to look forward to, or not look forward to if you don't like winter, because winter is going to make a big return the first 2 weeks of March, according to him. And you guys are going to get a couple more storms between now and then, so button down the hatches and hang on and hope it don't get too deep that you can't get out if you need to.
I'm just looking ahead. Grapefruit. The leagues started playing in Florida, so it makes me feel like springtime. Get the old Major League Baseball's playing. Their preseason, so that makes me
Yeah,
feel a little warmer though, even though it's cold out.
yeah, that's always a sign that spring is coming when they start the like I say the kind of preseason or whatever you want to call it, the Florida League down there. And of course, we got the NFL draft. If you watch NFL, got the draft coming up here soon to be, and that always kind of helps make things feel like spring has sprung and summer is on its way. And of course, here in North Texas, we don't look forward to summer. It gets hot here and humid, and so this is our wonderful time of year. This is the time to get out in between systems and enjoy the weather.
Man, we
All
we
right, so uh, we know that you got settled in the new place this week.
yeah. Last night was the first night at the new place, so it took the cats over. So just me and the cats at the new place. So it's they adapted pretty well. It was a good first night's sleep.
Well, that's good. That's
It was nice.
fantastic. All right, are you ready to move along to something burger or hot topic?
Yes, yes, yes.
Let's go then. All
I
right,
still
so
can't
this is
believe
the
I made
point.
that like that. Sorry, I can't. I apologize. I can't believe I made that thing.
That's a
Sorry.
crazy one. I look forward to that one every week. It kind of brightens my day because I'm a burger freak. I love burgers, so and can't beat that graphic that you got there. All right, so this is our something burger hot topic segment. Always try to have two topics for you. Randy picks one, I pick one. So at this point, we want you guys to chime in. Let us know what you think. This is where you, the audience, gets a chance to participate in today's show. So I'm gonna turn it over to Randy and let him go.
Yeah, like Bob said, I please we're asking we're both asking questions on these two on the our questions. My question is, do you have a website? And do you feel it's an advantage to have a website over a Facebook page? And another question, it's kind of three in a row. It's all about websites. Do you have an agent friendly website, meaning that you don't have your phone number on there, you don't have your straight contact in there? Do you have a Facebook page also that strictly you can give an agency that they can book you or use your pictures or, promote you that way? So, do you have a website? Do you think there's an advantage of having a website over just a Facebook page? And do you have an agent free website? An agent only website, basically. I'm sorry, not an agent. But so it's I personally think websites are a necessity. Just a Facebook page is not enough. There is so many free websites out there nowadays that you can do your own. And there's professionals. If you don't know how to do your own, there's so many great professionals that know how to do them. But if you want to work for agencies, it is good to have a separate one that is basically agent friendly. So you
Yeah,
don't because they don't want you to send, you know, here's the waste, Facebook thing and or your website, and you got all the information to call you direct. So, alrighty, I see we got some people chiming in already. Wonderful, wonderful.
yes, we do. Charlie Johnson says have both with my contact info on them. Also, a widget on the website for booking through kringletracker.com. That's something that was launched this last year. Roger and the guys up there, and you can speak more to this than I can, but Kringle Tracker is a great way for booking to book through and kind of tell them about Kringle Tracker a little bit while we got a chance.
Yeah, Kringle Tracker is actually a all-in-one, inclusive to be able to keep your record, your bookings, your everything all together. When you if you put it on your website like Charlie does, put on there, they can go directly through. Then it takes all the information from the person, puts it on there, the phone number, the address, and everything else. So when you need to contact them, you just look them up and it's always there. If you need to send them a thank you letter, it's always there. You need to send them a bill, it's there. It keeps track of or of course, your calendar. It is a phenomenal thing. Kringle Tracker is to put on your site, especially if you're if you have a calendar on your site besides. So, but so
Yes,
that's
and
good.
you mentioned Facebook. If you're advertising, or I mean, Facebook is a great source. Don't get me wrong, but when it comes to hiring individual clients outside of agents, if you're going to do freelance work or photography work, and you're looking for a photographer, you can find some really cool stuff there. But just remember that a lot of times, if you're trying to promote yourself on Facebook, you're preaching to the choir because the majority of your friends are not on there. You may have some friends on there. You may have some Facebook friends. You may have a lot of Santa and Mrs. Claus friends that are on there, but you're kind of preaching to the choir, uh, uh, you know, by trying to promote yourself through Facebook. There's other better ways to promote yourself, and your website is important as a landing spot for those folks to go to find out all the information that you need for that they need to hire you. Look at what your reviews are. Always have your reviews on there. If you have a chance to put up a review page, do that. All right, Rex Ray says I have both a website and a Facebook fan page. In the last couple of years, I get more contacts to the Facebook page, but still feel both are necessary. So there's the other side. Rex seems to think that the Facebook page he gets a lot through that. Right opposite of what I was saying as far as preaching to the choir. Uh, I'm not sure who this Facebook user here is. Looks like Bart Gaffney says, "Does it work with QuickBooks or
Um,
Excel?" He's talking about
Yeah, Kringle Tracker. You
Kringle
would
Tracker.
actually have to contact Roger Minton. He's the actually inventor of Kringle Tracker, or go to kringletracker.com. And then you can put in a question there. I'm not sure if they do. It does connect. I know it connects to quite a few different things that are because to make it more user friendly. But I can't guarantee that. The best thing to do is a gentleman named Roger Minton, Minton, Santa Roger. and he would have, or go to kringletracker.com, and you can, you know, ask for information that way. And it's a great program. It really is.
It is, and don't be afraid to go over Bart and ask him about that because he is available to answer all your questions for the Kringle Tracker. We had him on the show last year on the Tuesday night show, and he kind of previewed before they launched it what all it was doing. It was still under development at that time, so not real sure what all he's added, what they finally launched. But go over and talk to him about that and find out. All right, moving along here. Oh my goodness, hello, Scott Parker. Good to see you, brother.
Good to see you,
Scott
Scott.
says he has a website and Facebook page. He has three Facebook pages, one for him, one for his haunt work, and one for Santa only. And that is santabyparker.com is his website.
And that's exactly what you should do. You should not really mingle your personal items, especially on Facebook. Your personal, whoever you are, Bob Smith or John Smith or whoever, with your Santa. Um, you can, but especially not if you're giving that address out to people. It should be all Santa, because you might type in something that alienates, or somebody else of your friends might type something else that's not inappropriate. It's just don't, if you're going to promote a Facebook page, at least a website you can control
Yeah,
the content.
exactly. Mhm. All
Good.
right, Bart put Lake
Yeah, I don't see
Country,
anybody that says.
Santa Claus.
I guess nobody really has. I don't know how many. I guess people we have on that do agent work. I guess maybe it's not an important thing. Um, I haven't had it for the Santa part of it. Of course, the magic and the clowning was very important to have a separate entity for an agent to send if you're doing a video or whatever. You want to put on there if they want to show for a thing. So maybe it's not. Nobody has really said anything, so maybe it's not as prevalent, or nobody's even heard about saying it as a Santa, an agent friendly, um, a booking agent friendly web page website.
Rex totally agrees. He has a personal Facebook page under Rex Ray, of course, and then his a Facebook fan page, which he has under Sandhill Santa. And separate Santa Facebook page, separate Santa website, separate Santa Nextdoor app, etc. Yes, a lot of cows are using all the tools that are out there. You know, if you've got time to keep up with it all, more power to you. It's great sources. They're there to use. Might as well jump on them.
That's for sure. Yeah, there's. But we'll talk more about websites a little later in the show.
Okay, fantastic. Well, that means let's move along then to the other question that we have for the day for Hot Topics. That other character that some of us might consider portraying, yes, that fluffy tailed, long eared, usually white furry character that is also tied in history to Jesus through a holiday. My question is, have you ever thought of putting the suit on, and what would you say is most important to the portrayal? We're talking about the Easter Bunny at the mall. There's other opportunities that have opened up for the Easter Bunny the last handful of years. Different stores, box stores, different things are beginning to bring the bunny in. You know, the season for the bunny is only a couple of weeks long. It's not as long as a Christmas season, but for a couple of weeks, you can jump, put the suit on, go out and have some fun, make a few extra dollars. It's not going to pay you, a whole lot, but if you don't have a lot of overhead expenses in doing it, it's a lot of fun. From those who I have worked with at the Christmas set that also does the Easter Bunny, and those that I've made friends with through the years that do it. So the question is, have you ever thought of putting the suit on, and what would you say is the most important to the portrayal? Throw me in some answers there if you would. Let me see what your thoughts
Yeah,
are on this. I've
sure.
thought about it for years, but I'm so busy with the shows and everything else, it would kind of be more of a distraction. So, for just a couple of weeks, I don't know that it's for me, but uh, just to let everyone know, Angela Mack is going to be running one of the Cherry Hill photo sets this year at the mall that I work at for Easter. And she had put out on Facebook looking for some associates to work at the set. And of course, those set members also have the opportunity to put the suit on and play the bunny. And so these are things that she and I were talking about throughout the last week and a half, 2 weeks. And so we thought we'd pose it to you guys.
Yeah,
Uh,
I
Some
wanted
parts
to
it's
years ago,
too
but I was
hot.
always too big.
What's that, Randy?
I was always too big years ago, so I never fit in a costume. So I always wanted to for many years, but I never could fit into it. But there are many opportunities, guys. Now, especially even photographers are doing photo sessions with. I mean, probably not in a lot of cities, but they're also doing photo sessions with the Easter Bunny and all that. And best thing, you don't have to talk. You just have to be animated. You just have to
Well,
be very, very broad animation. So it looks like fun. And Scott said too hot. Yeah, it is a
yeah,
pretty thick costume.
it's warm in the suit. It's claustrophobic. If you're claustrophobic, you couldn't wear it. The good thing is I believe that the standard has been in the past is an associate will wear the suit for about an hour, and then the next associate suits up. I know Cherry Hill sends multiple suits, sometimes two or three different suits, different sizes, some taller, some shorter, that kind of fits multiple people. And an hour in it may seem like a long time. It may not, but I know one of these people who worked on set with me at Christmas time. Let me get this out straight. Is 6'5", 6'6", tall fella, and he absolutely loves being the bunny. He done it for a number of years. Has not done it in the past few years, but one of the best bunnies I have seen. Work in person. Went up and watched him, and all of his animations were right on dancing and all the expressions. The only thing was he got so hot. He has this little black fan that we used for a number of years on set on a box next to the chair and things. He would take it and hold it up to the mouth hole, which is what you're looking through, basically, with the bunny suit. Hold it up there to get air inside to cool himself off when there were no children inside, which was pretty funny, I thought. But yeah, that was one of the things we were talking about is the animations. Now, your professional semi-pro mascots are a quite great way. Go over to YouTube and look at some of their videos and find out some of the animations that they use. A great way to learn. Again, I don't think there's a class out there for that. There may be that I'm not aware of, but that would be a great way to learn.
And it's a weird thing. You've got to
Uh,
learn. You've got to learn how to not talk, and that's kind of an odd thing to not to interact by vocalizing. Is us as Santa or whoever, we're so used to vocalizing, you can't interact that way. So it's got to be whatever you can do with your hands and your head and your body to answer that question or to interact with the child. That's what you got to do, and it's pretty. I think it would be interesting. I'm one of these days. I'm gonna give it a try. I think it'd just be fun. Even if I wouldn't do it, like you said, do a lot of it, but it would be. I think it would be fun.
be a learning experience and the body language animation.
Yeah,
My problem is I like to talk.
that's
I'm a chatty box, so I don't know. I'd love to do it sometimes, but now's not the time. I'm too busy trying to do other things, and I don't need to take on anything else at this point. Rex Ray says the big bunny is one thing that scares more children than Santa does. Yeah, hey, some children are scared of the bunny where they're not scared of Santa, so that's very true.
ooh,
Ben, stay safe, brother.
yeah. Oh, be careful, man. That's prayers to you guys. Hope everything goes okay down there, man. Wow.
Yeah, and I mean, we kind of touched on this in the past a little bit. Texas, especially the DFW North Texas area, was always kind of the southern tip of what they used to call Tornado Alley, and it was pretty much just up through Oklahoma, Kansas. Uh, Not a real big area, but through the years with the warming and everything that's happened, that tornado alley has broadened out all the way across to, hey, I'm sure Rex has to worry about it with the onflow of tropical storms and that sort of thing. But I mean, all of Arkansas, Mississippi, Ohio Valley, where Ben is up in Ohio, you guys are all in the path nowadays of tornadoes. So,
Yeah.
you can't be too safe when it comes to tornadoes.
I don't know if Ben's still on, but please keep us informed, Ben, how you guys are doing. Keep us informed that everything's will be okay, and I mean,
Glad you're joining us. Stay in the
yeah,
basement and wait for the all clear sound to go off
yep,
before you climb back out of there. All right, so I think we went through this pretty good here with the bunny. Kind of found out some things, talked about some things. Let's go ahead and move along at this point, and we're going to throw it over to Angela for just a moment.
Hey everyone, Elf Angela Mack here for Bob, Randyl, and Company Live. The show about nothing. Bob, Randyl, and Company Live is brought to you by Santa's Closet. Santa's Closet has been delivering unique, value-packed Santa and Mrs. Claus accessories since 2004. Santa's Closet's main goal is to provide both a superior customer experience with tremendous value for their customers. Santa's Closet brings more than 400 separate products to the Claus community at a reasonable price. Santa's Closet is under new ownership. Let's welcome Santa Wade and Scarlett Kaufman of Tennessee, whom will continue the tradition of bringing you products of unparalleled quality and design. Don't forget to visit their sites at santascloset.org and support their efforts of bringing quality products to the community. This is Angela Mack reminding you to catch our show every Monday at 3 p.m. Central. Thanks for watching. Now let's get back to Bob, Randyl, and Company Live and today's Monday Santa's Closet Trivia.
All right, here we are at the end of the month. Boy, I tell you, February has flown by, hasn't it?
Oh, crazy how fast it's going. Crazy.
So that means that santascloset.org is still running that 10% off discount through the end of this month, which you only have a couple of days left to take advantage of that 10% off. Go over and check out their site, see if there's anything you'd like to buy, get that 10%, and buy you a soda water with what you save. All right, so Santa Wade and Scarlett are starting to settle in, starting to get their legs under their feet underway and moving along. So we're so excited that they decided to come along and join us this year. And so guys, go over and give them a little bit of a business, make them feel good, and buy some stuff that you can use in giveaways and that sort of thing. Now's a good time to do that. Over to you, Randy, for the trivia question.
You're doing this to me again, aren't you, Bob, on this trivia
I
question? Man,
am.
makes me feel. All right. Last week was bad enough what you wrote, but this one is even crazier. This is what was the snowiest year in Detroit, Michigan's history? I mean, that's crazy. We need number of inches and year. How many inches and what year was it? Wow, you're just making me colder every week thinking about it. I know it's cold up here, Bob. You don't have to rub it in on us the last couple of weeks, but man, oh man, yeah. What is the snowiest year in Detroit, Michigan, according to history? The number of inches and the year it was. Man, it's astonishing.
No better time to winterize that new location that you're in there, Randy. Make sure you got weather stripping, all your windows sealed good.
Yeah, gonna need to seal more than windows with this kind of height. Yeah.
Yep, that's of course, I'm always looking for something that ties in somewhere. And of course, you being in the Detroit metro area, this was a good one to throw out there. Of course, this is now according to NOAA, National Office of Alerts and Advisories, I believe is the proper name there. And let's see, looks like we got some answers coming in. That's what we're looking for, some good answers. So keep them coming. And we're going to go ahead and run on the other side of this, and we'll be right back. All right, Elfin Chatterbox News. We're going to talk about a couple of things here real quick before we move along. Sat Bob said Santa in the Business of Being Santa 2-day, 10th Annual Garland, Texas School, March 11th and 12th. Early bird discount has been extended all the way through. This year's price discounted down from $375 for a single Santa, Mrs. Claus, or Elf, $500 per couple, down to $300 and $425. That's a $75 savings. Now's a great time to take advantage of that $75 discount. Also, to let you know that Spangle is still out on the road with his 40-foot mobile stuffersanta.com store, and we'll be at Sat Bob's. Everyone is invited to come by and shop during the weekend. We'll be in and out. Spangle can always go out from class, open up if you are not attending the class, but you want to come over and shop. You're more than welcome. Help support Spangle and help him pay for that gas bill, that diesel bill that he's going to have traveling around the country. Also, School of Santa's 2 weekends to choose from this year, July 13th through 16th and July 20th through 23rd. If you attend the Sat Bob's class the 11th and 12th of March and take advantage of the $75 discount that we're offering there, Spangle has thrown in another extended bonus on top of that. He will also extend $100 off School of Santa's either weekend in July if you attend the Sat Bob's class. Now, remember, folks, Hall of Fame 2018, Santa Rex Ray is now our East Coast instructor. He will be at the Garland class. Come pick his brain. He knows so much stuff. You can make a living picking his brain. All right, Randy, let's go on to the preview for the upcoming guests and shows for Tuesday Night Live, and I'm going to let you take it from here, brother.
All righty. Well, tomorrow's already the end of the month. February 28th. February 28th is fantastic couple. I mean, they just burst that out on the scene like crazy last year doing it full time. Eric and Moesha. They just took off in the things they did last year. You guys will be blown away listening to some of the unique things they did last year. But that's tomorrow night, February 28th, Eric and Moesha Elliott. Don't miss it because they're just their smiles, man, and they just warm your hearts watching them. They really do. You can't not pick up some good stuff. And it is very heartwarming, some of the stuff they did. It really is. Don't miss it. And also, Ben, stay safe. I saw what you said. They're 9 miles away, so please stay safe, man. Then we got a little break, and we will have something going on. But then March 14th is Jeff. That's right, everybody. Jeff McMullen, Santa Jeff McMullen. He has his own Santa school. He has his own special Santa house. He was a Ringling Brothers clown for many, 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 many years. Incredible. And besides you just got to listen to him talk, man. And sometimes you just kind of melt the way he talks. I mean, it is, Jeff McMullen will be a fantastic guest. And he's been on before, right? I think he's been on. Haven't you had him? Yeah,
he has.
Yeah,
he has.
And but don't miss Jeff from Wisconsin. But he's you got to hear some of the stories about the old circus days too. They are kind of crazier, some of the Santa things, but but yeah, he don't miss that on March 14th. Yes, March 14th. Then March 21st, a local here in Michigan named Santa Lauren Jensen, same thing. He has built himself a Santa shed and is promoting it like crazy. A Santa shed that he actually took a trailer, transformed it into, and he's running the whole thing himself, booking everything. And I think you'll be amazed how he put it all together. I think it can really, more Santas across the states. Like I said, Jeff McMullen did the same thing. In fact, they kind of collaborated a few things together for years about it. But Lauren Jensen did. I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful shed, and how he set it up and how he promotes it. Don't miss that one. And that's on the 21st of March. The 28th of March is our buddy Charlie's hanging around here, Charlie Johnson, from way up in the northern part of Michigan. Going to talk to you about all his years of DJing and all his all that kind of stuff and the Santa stuff he does. Charlie, and don't forget, have Charlie talk about his, yes, that's right, his submarine video, his submarine sales video. Just ask him about it. You'll get a kick. I mean, it's hilarious. He puts parodies together on some commercial things for our stuff for maps, and it's hilarious. So he's got a great wit, a great thing. So don't miss him. Then Ben, we were talking about a few minutes ago, April 4th. Ben, again, hope you're safe. April 4th, Ben down in Ohio, has done so much with Ohio Santas and is a new Santa, which I think is a great thing to have. That new blood. Yeah, we can't wait for you either, Charlie. Don't forget that the submarine ad. And but Ben Bellhorn will be here on April 4th. Uh, you'll be safe, Ben, and the family. I know it was the other guys, the young one's birthday a couple of days ago, Logan's birthday a couple of days ago. So happy birthday again to him. Um, but he's just burst on the scene also being a new Santa. He's just so hungry when it comes to learning. He's been to a bunch of schools. He's great to listen to. Looks great, sounds great. Enthusiasm from a new Santa is phenomenal, and Ben's got it. So don't miss Ben either on April 4th. And we've got all the other dates filled in, of course, and many, many more after that. So don't miss Tuesday Night Live. I mean, it is, you'll always learn something. Always, always learn something.
Yes, that's true. And Ben is hunkered down right now. Just looks like about 5 minutes ago, he posted tornado on the ground in Franklin County, which was about 9 miles away from him. So let's hope that that booger has already skipped on past and got its way out of Ben's way, and they continue to stay safe down there.
You know, we love you, Ben. You're a good man.
And let's see, Scott Seriton, who has been filling in for Spangle on the Tuesday show, he and Spangle started talking about these Santa mobile trailers, more so mobile than, like, for instance, Jeff's is stationary. Jeff had his set up in a location and, work from that location. Again, the mobile, that may be the way of the future for a lot of Santas. I mean, yes, there's cost involved in getting, buying the proper trailer, outfitting it, getting all your camera equipment, everything that you need to open up a mobile Santa photo studio. But man, the benefits and I mean, if you're mobile, you could do 2 weeks here, 2 weeks there, 2 weeks here, 2 weeks there, and fill up a season really fast, and give people in your metro area a chance to come see. If you're in a small town, that wouldn't be necessary. But those of us that live in a larger town like the Dallas Fort Worth area and Randy with the Detroit area, there would be some really great advantages to that. So
Yeah,
something else that we'll talk about once we get Jeff and Lauren on. I got to meet Lauren for the first time. And been friends on Facebook. Got to meet him at the School of Santas last year. Sat and talked with him quite a bit, and he is a very knowledgeable man when it comes to the way he runs his businesses and stuff. So looking forward to talking to him. Now, real quick, April 11th. We don't have written down here, but I confirm uh, Gina Bacon, Nationwide Santas, will be our guest on April 11th Tuesday Night Live show. So that's another one to add to the list.
go, Gina.
All
Go.
right, Randy, you want to get into this trivia answer?
All righty, guys. Here's the trivia answer. Here it is. Yes, this is true. It actually wasn't that many years ago in 2008. I don't remember shoveling that much snow in 2008, but I must have. I must have. 2008 is 82.9 inches. 82.9 inches.
How our memory fails us sometimes. That
Oh,
ought to
I
be
think
what would
we
be
want to block
stuck
that
back
out of our
there.
head. To think that we shoveled that much snow.
That's a lot of
And I
snow,
live north
man.
of the city, so sometimes we get a little bit more. But yeah, that's a lot of snow. I guess not compared to some areas. We go to northern Michigan or parts of the mountains. That's really not
Mhm.
not a lot. But around here, um, but I know we had. I thought we saw somebody there that had it. I think have
Yeah,
that number, Mister.
we did. And Angela, can you confirm that for us? Mr. Charlie Johnson, he's
Charlie.
right with that. Boy, he jumped in quick with that answer too.
Let me jump in quick about I misspoke about Charlie. Charlie hasn't done DJ work. I apologize. He's a whiz when it comes to all the microphones, and he helps out at some of the conventions and gatherings with all the mic things and all that sound system. So I put those two together that it was DJ work. It isn't. Sorry, Charlie. He's not a DJ. That's actually Mike Brewer. Herbie does that. So thanks. Sorry, Charlie. So that we won't ask you to play any music when you're on. Don't worry about it. We just want to hear your commercials and your story, of course.
Let's see. I think it was Bart. Yes, it was Bart that says, "What are the closest schools to Southeast Wisconsin? Dates and locations." There are a couple, I think, that are out there in your general vicinity. It's not going to be right in where you're at, I don't think. But if you are interested in putting together a Sat Bob school, reach out to Rex Ray. He's on here, easy to get in touch with, very accessible, and talk to him. He can bring a school to you, and you know, we get we get a lot of compliments on the material that Sat Bob's is based off of. The 4 books that Gordon Bailey has written, over 1,000 pages of curriculum and over 100 subject titles. Reach out to Rex, and he'll be glad to fill you in on everything else there. Scott Parker, those shirts was something I made up as a little bit of a teaser and at the same time kind of a joke. But there has been quite a few people that asked since I put those shirts up this last time. I had posted them last year when I was a guest, the 21st episode of season 2. But that is something that we may look into doing. And the bad part about it is I would love to be able to do it and put each guest image on there, but then that would mean a whole lot of print and a whole lot of money that I don't think would be feasible. We wouldn't be able to sell enough to make it cost effective. But that is something that we'll look into as far as doing a generic, and I'll let you know.
Also, I don't mean to butt in, but the gentleman asked about from Wisconsin about a show, a Santa school is close. I'm not sure what part of Wisconsin he's in, but if you want to take the ferry across from Wisconsin, across Lake Michigan to Muskegon, um, Santa True is doing a class there in the first week in June. He will be in Muskegon, Michigan. Their Christmas Performers Workshop will be there. If you want to take a ferry across Lake Michigan, I don't know what part of Wisconsin he's in, but they have those ferry boats. It would be a couple-hour boat ride is all it really is going across Lake Michigan, but that's fairly close too.
Rex, I will talk to you about that outside of the show. That sounds like a great idea. Rhonda would be the perfect place to go to get that done. All right, now, also, Santa True's class is a performance-based class. That is more about performing, whereas Sat Bob's is more of a business, performance, history, overall school that will give you all the tools that you need. Santa Tim Conahan, he is out again this year doing some classes. I'm not real sure how close to you he would be. Check out his class. Fantastic starter class there. Tim was the original, the one that kind of got it all started as far as the traveling schools, and a Hall of Fame Santa,
Is Tim
as we've
still
always
selling
said.
his
Tim right up
DVDs?
there.
Is he still selling his DVD class? He used to have a DVD class.
Yes, he does. As a matter of fact, I think he has two. I think he has an advance that he
Okay.
put out last year or a year before. So always get the DVD and do it that way. Okay, so moving right along here, we went through the answer for that 82.9 inches of snow that buried Randy to the T. And Charlie was the winner there. Let's see. Ben says Tim will be in Columbus March 25th. Still have a couple of spots available. There you go. That's not too far away. That's travelable. Travelable. Is that the correct word?
Travelable.
Travelable. There you go. Thank you, Randy.
You can get there. Yeah.
Yeah, you can get there for sure. All right, let's go ahead and cinch them shorts up tight and let Angela play this lead in.
Hello, everybody. Again, it's Santa Shorts time. Just that brief peek into the world of Santa. And we're going to be taking a little break from the Santa Shorts. Starting next week, we're going to go into the magical moments. But last week, we talked about, one of Bob's questions was QR codes. QR codes is a necessity and something I think we're going to have to add on to our websites. But that's something I wanted to talk about too, since we brought up websites earlier. About what you guys do about a website. There are, like I said earlier, there are so many places you can do to make your own or ask a friend to help you to make one. They're rather inexpensive to buy a domain name. Now, a domain name, I feel, and you should, if you're going to do a website, make sure that domain name brands you. Don't just put, you're not going to find SantaClaus.com anyway, but you can brand yourself that way. So if you are a musician, or if you are a storyteller, storytimesanta.com or .org or whatever, put that so it's memorable. Like mine is Santa, Discover Santa Magic, because I like to do magic, and you're just, so I make sure that I put my brand on my website address. That's what I would pick first. If you know what your brand is, and everybody should, to me, as a Santa, if you're doing private or corporate events or anything like that, you should kind of be branding yourself anyway, something you specialize, especially if you do home visits. And then you should take your website and customize it to look the same way. So if you're going to be the musical Santa, because you can play a harp or you can like to sing a lot, make sure that you focus on that in your website. Do a video clip. You need all those things on there: a video clip, a musical video clip. You need, of course, photos, all types of photos. Don't forget that smile, that selling smile and those twinkling eyes always have to be there, a close up, a face shot, but then also a video. Then, of course, like Bob said earlier, also you have to make sure you have testimonials. Put some testimonials in and make sure they're legit. Make sure that they're, you did something for Make a Wish, and this is what they said. Make sure you get approval to be able to use it, but put testimonials on there. If you have to put a whole page full, that's fantastic. That just gives you an extra little credibility. Like I said, a short video is fantastic. Of course, pictures. And you always have to have on there your contact information. Connect it to a booking thing. A booking, if it's Kringle Tracker or your Google Google Calendar. And then, of course, have your email address, your phone number. I personally don't think you should put your address on there. You shouldn't say I live in, Kansas City, Kansas, or I shouldn't put on there I live in Rochester, Michigan, because Santa doesn't live in Rochester, Michigan. So don't put your address on there. It's always funny to put, of course, a phone number too, because it's like, wait a minute, you put a phone number on there. It's like I put on there just the slave phone. It's my slave phone. It's not the phone number. It's the slave phone. But those things, of course. And then if you do a calendar, your events that you're doing, make sure you keep it up to date. And that's something that's always hard to do, almost on a weekly basis or every other week basis. You have to keep it up on a weekly basis or a semi-weekly basis, so people can either keep track of what you're, doing, and they want to come see you, or you have availability and you get double booked. So if you're going to do a calendar, make sure it's always kept up to date. But I still think the biggest thing is that website has to be new, fresh, and branded. And I know it sounds funny. I always say the word branded, but not branded like, you're doing a cow, but make sure that you take whatever you focus on, and really emphasize that, because that'll make you stand out more than all the other Santas. There's thousands of us out there, and you want to stand out to be sold in your market. And if somebody can go to storytellingsanta.com or storytelling Santa or whatever.org, whatever it's going to be, they can get you. Then they know all about you. They see a video. They see, of course, a little bit about you. And have somebody read it, proofread it, read it, and proofread it again. Nothing is crazier than, I know I did it for a few years, messing up when spell check, or running sentences and everything else, because I'm very bad at that. I needed help for people to do that. So take a few minutes, and because it's yours, you can control what you do, or if somebody helps you do it. That's what's good about having your own that you pay for and take care of your own website, instead of having a web designer do it for you and you have to go through them. And they are some talented people, don't get me wrong, and they're really professionals to be able to put animation and everything on there. But if you can control it, because you need to change it sometimes, might be a daily basis, especially get closer to the season. Oh, I just booked this. So you can't always get to that web designer that quick, or they can't get to your site that quick to always update it. So, but there are so many great sites, and we could, we can let you know on the Facebook page the different sites there are that you can get free do them free, but they do cost. Then technically, they're not free. Free to design, but not free to have without ads. And you don't want any ads on there at all. So, but that's something we talked about earlier about web pages. So I totally recommend them. They don't cost that much money. It's just an investment like a suit. It's like an investment like your insurance. Have it. It's kind of like a business card. It's like a everything a postcard, and you can do so much on them. Music, videos, just it's a great way to make you shine like a star because you can make yourself look fantastic on a website. So do that. I recommend it. So thank you again for letting me do Santa Shorts for the last few months. And we're going to go to Santa's Magical Moments starting next week. It's going to be a little different. We're going to have some fun. Thank you guys again. Always my pleasure to be with you.
Well, I'm going to miss those shorts.
They'll be back. Santa Shorts will be back.
Of course.
Take a little break.
And that was the whole idea for the Monday show, is to not get stagnant. Let's bounce around, do some different things. And, of course, bringing the shorts back at times will be fantastic. Now, Ben says Google sites are free. Wix, you can get a free Wix site as far as a development goes. Now, hosting will cost you if you try to host through Wix, but there's a lot of free sites out there for development to be able to put your sites together. I use GoDaddy, started off GoDaddy 13 years ago. And again, Tim Conahan, speaking to Tim earlier, he mentions in class, as Randy did, to pick a name that will brand yourself. For me, Big D for Dallas, or that's the nickname for Dallas, is Big D. So I'm BigDSanta.com and have been using that. Now, you can usually buy a domain name for around $10 on average your first year. And then when it comes up for renewal, in my case, I pay about $20 a year per name that I use. I have several domain names that I use: LoneStarSantaClaus.com and SantaBobMac.com. But they all default to one site, which is the Big D Santa site. And they're about $20 a year. I can renew them every or $20 for $40 for 2 years is what I'm trying to say, because I renew every 2 years. You can do two, I think, 5, 10. It depends on how much out you want to go and hang on to that name. But as long as you keep up with your renewal, it's always there for you. So anyway, fantastic job, Randy, as always. Shorts, like that lady in low those shorts. Let's see here. We got LakeCountrySanta.com. That's correct. That's one that is very brandable, something that you can brand off of. And as Randy said, keep all your branding the same. Don't don't have different stuff going on in different places. Try to brand yourself and brand it all in the same style. Got anything to add to that, Randy?
Oh no, I just think it's especially like you said, you buy yourself a few different domain names, and then because some will stick a little easier. Like I bought magicalsanta.com something, and then I bought this, but I really it was easier for me to discover Santa Magic. It was easier to, even though I have 3 or 4 that connect to it, it just caught on, so I started using that one, and they're inexpensive, but they all go there in case I have one on an old advertisement. But yeah, it's they're worth every penny. It's like I said, it's no different than we talked about last week on business cards. You have to have them. I mean, I feel if you're going to do private stuff, if you're not just going to do malls only, if you just don't want to work for, it's worth the investment and the time.
Yeah, and with multiple domain names, of course, you pay for the name itself, but you can have those default to your website for no cost. So it doesn't hurt to have multiple. All you're paying for is that $10, $20, a year to keep that name. And again, it allows you to. A lot of times, if I'm working within the Dallas area, I'll use the Big D Santa. If I'm working outside the Dallas area, I'll use Lone Star Santa Claus, which kind of gives me different areas to concentrate on. But since I've been at the mall, I don't use those to the effect that I would if I wasn't at the mall. But still, if you're working with photographers or whatever, it's good to have a website like Randy said.
And then like last week when Jessica was here, have those good photos. Have good photos on there. Have a photographer that she was on last week talking about. Have a good photographer take some really, really top-notch, unique photos that you just stand out. And do your if you're a if you're the train Santa and you have a little train hat and you have a look, well, make sure you put that picture on there and get it done by a professional, like you know, like she said last week.
Yeah, Jessica said. And you don't have to flood that website with pictures. You don't have to put up 100
No,
pictures on
no,
your
no, no,
website.
no, no,
Just
no.
pick 20, 15, 10, 15, 20, 25, whatever your top ones, what message you want to get across, your different looks, your different costuming, and like I say, take those professional shots because it's not cheap to hire a professional, photographer to do the kind of work that Jessica does. I mean, they're worth the money if you've got the money to spend, and they're a great marketing tool. And just take those and use those and get some return on them.
A Facebook user said and a video. Like I briefly said a video. Now, I personally feel if you do video on there, it's like any advert. It's an advertisement. It's not. You're not doing a show. Just do snippets. If you can have somebody edit that video, you come in and saying ho 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 and the way you look and then something else is going on by maybe shaking a child's hand or a little bit here. Just short snippets in that video. Don't make it a sit down. So Lisa, what do you want? Not a complete video. No magician does it that way. No entertainer does it that way. Do short snippets on your webpage. Even though it might be a 30-second or a minute long, it's still just snippets of everything. They don't literally see the whole thing.
For a good example of that, tune in tomorrow night to the Tuesday Night Live show with Eric and Moesha because they did a home visit this last year for a professional YouTuber, matter of fact, but she is allowing them to use a 1 minute segment off of a 30-minute video that we're going to try to play tomorrow night that will be a perfect example of what Randy was just talking about. So tune in tomorrow night and check that out.
Tune in.
All right, we are ready to move along now. Randy is debuting a new segment next week. I'm going to go ahead and throw mine out this week. We've got a new one. It's called Santa's Flight Checklist, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome to Santa's Flight Checklist. It's something we should all be familiar with in one form or another. The topic today is doing your homework up front and making sure you are well prepared. Now, this segment, we're going to be talking in generalities. There's two types of diligence and due diligence. We're going to talk about due diligence today. Today, as we consider doing large events, it is important to do your due diligence. Now, when you take this into the generality, defined as the care that a reasonable person exercises to avoid harm to other persons or property. In other words, trying to prevent an accident. The reason I brought this up is this is a personal experience that happened to me just before the season started this year. At the mall that I work at, the Mesquite Independent School District has a program that is the Teachers Association. They do a big Santa color run, 5K run, and I am the face of the run, you might say. Santa is the host, and it's based around Santa Claus. This year, just right after we had cut the run loose, everyone was off running the route. And at that point, I kind of stand around and talk to different folks. And there was a gentleman come up. He was a professional photographer in the area, and he wanted to take a couple of pictures of me. He wanted to know if it was okay. And I told him sure. So he took a couple of pictures with his professional camera, and I told him, I said, "Won't you get one for your phone? Grab your phone, and you and I will walk back here to the start finish line and get the banners and stuff that is on the scaffolding, and get a picture for your phone." So we walk up there, we turn our back to the scaffolding. He's holding his phone up to get an Elfie, he and I, and suddenly he screams, "Look out." Before I had a chance to react to his words, 20, 25 foot of scaffolding blew over because of the banners that were tied to it. It was a windy day, and pinned him and I to the ground. Just drove us hard to the ground, and I was sore. I wasn't hurt bad. My neck, shoulders, back, knees, hands were all sore from hitting the ground so hard. But his was a little worse. He tried to catch it because he was facing it, and tried to keep it from crashing on both of us. But it was too heavy. It took us down to the ground. But you got to make sure that these folks that you are working for or doing events for, it's important that we have insurance, right? Liability insurance, but you also have to make sure that these companies uh, have insurance. Okay, so let's kind of dig into this a little bit deeper. A due diligence checklist is an organized way to analyze a company that you are acquiring through. It doesn't matter if you're trying to go to work for them in your personal life or if it's as a character. By following a checklist, you can learn about a company's assets, liabilities, contracts, benefits, and even potential problems they may have had in the past. In order for a company to demonstrate due diligence, all companies that hire us should have liability insurance in case of an accident. Now, if God forsake, either one of us hadn't been hurt to the point that we needed to go to the hospital, and they did call the ambulance out and checked us out, put us in the ambulance and looked us over and all of our vitals and all that stuff. But we were good to go. But to say that something did happen, then they need to be responsible for that accident. And it was an accident. It was not something that was foreseen. Even worse than that, if either one of us was debilitated to the point that we couldn't walk again, or broke our back or our neck, or even worse, fatality. You always want to make sure that the folks that you're working for do their due diligence. You do your due diligence, check them out, make sure that they have that insurance in case of an accident. And that is Santa's flight checklist for this Monday.
Wow, 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 and wow. That's a crazy thing that happened, man. He really could have gotten, yeah, and
Yeah, and I started the week after in the chair, and for about the first 10 days, it was every morning getting up sore, neck was stiff, sore, shoulder was hurting, and I'm probably still having a little bit of side effects from that. But again, I tried to shake it off, going about, smile, take more pictures. As the runners start back in, I'm out there high fiving the runners, telling them great job, and then of course taking pictures in between, and the show must go on. Randy, you're a performer, you know that.
yeah, it must go on. But a lot of us don't think of them. Like, is it safe for us to be where we're at?
Well, and jokingly, he sent me the selfie that he took, and I'm talking seconds before this, and it was two towers of scaffolding, and they're 20-25 foot tall,
yeah, yeah,
and on the back and the front they're wrapped with banners with picture of Santa, 5K color run, and then across the top they have a start finish that tie the two together. That's a banner. And as I went to the ground, our tower fell first, but as I went to the ground, I was able to look across at the other tower, and it came down behind in my visual, and I couldn't believe how hard it hit and how lucky we are not to have been hurt seriously.
yeah.
And I mean,
That
that could have
steel
cost me
hurt.
my season. That could
Yeah,
have
that
cost
would
me
have.
a
Yeah,
lot, and it was just something that, of course, the organizers, the mall management, everybody was over checking on us. We're sorry. And the organizer of the run, and I've been doing this for a number of years. I'll never have those towers up again. Just anchor them. That's all you got to do. I mean, it's a great visual. It's a great way to start and finish a run. An event of that type. Just take a few spikes, put into the asphalt, tie them down. That way, it can't happen again. But who would have thought? I mean,
yeah.
but anyway, I was joking with the photographer who took the picture, and I said, that was the last picture taken before you and I almost lost our life, and it's kind of become a joke between he and I.
But I mean, it's true. I'm a fair amount of Santas that probably do parades. I mean, how safe sometimes are the floats? They're being
Absolutely.
pulled by whatever. I mean, how are they secured? You got to climb up and down. Now, every float that I've been on, you got that little tiny place to put your foot. It's about this big,
Hmm.
and it's then you've got to step down and step down. I mean, you kind of wonder. So we have to make sure that we're safe where we're working, and I mean, accidents can happen, but just very, like Scott said, very glad you're okay, and that's, I mean, it could have been devastating.
Well, and we assume that they have insurance. We assume that
Mm.
they will be responsible for anything that happens, seen or unforeseen. And again, accidents are accidents because
Yeah.
they're not planned. It's something that just happens, and accidents do happen.
I
But
mean,
the crazy part about that whole thing was again, it could have cost me my season. It could have cost me a ton of money plus medical bills. But as big as the mall is, I knew they had insurance. I wasn't worried about that. I knew the organizer. I know him well. I know what I wasn't worried about any of that. I knew that if I was hurt, they were going to take care of me. But I'm just saying that kind of opened my eyes up to a lot of guys who don't think twice about just taking stuff and not really doing any due diligence, as we call it, and do a little research and check these companies out and make sure. A lot of folks nowadays, I mean, I haven't been asked, but I do know Santas that get asked when someone is inquiring to hire them for the season, do you have entertainers insurance? Because they possibly could have went through an ordeal where, you know, they're thinking ahead. I mean, you never know. So
I mean,
anyway, do your due diligence.
we have to have it to cover ourselves and to cover what might happen. The organizers or whoever we're working for should have it also. And like Bob said,
Absolutely.
double check, man. Make sure that they do have it. Because you can't, you know what the word assume means. We all know what that word is. We can't assume
When you
anything.
break it down into syllables.
Yeah, just break that word and assume down. And so I think it's a great thing because I don't think we think about it that much, what you brought up. And I think
No,
it's a great reminder for the future about what can happen.
never crossed my mind before,
Yeah,
and since I've been at the mall, they brought me in with a open carriage. They brought me in a limousine. They brought me in a helicopter on a fire truck, and again, I know that the mall has their insurance, so, everything. There's no way they could operate without it. But some of
right.
these smaller companies is what I'm talking about. Companies that you might not think about asking. I mean, again, the funny part about that all was we were standing probably 100 yards from that scaffolding when I told him, "Grab your phone and let's go down here in front of the banner."
Your
And
idea.
it so happens where we stood, here come that tower, and boom, knocked us to the ground.
Wow.
Sometimes things happen, and you never know why.
Thank goodness you were safe. Thank God you
I
were
told him,
safe.
"Don't ever listen to me again. If I ask you to go somewhere, don't go with me."
Stay right there.
All right, guys, we got any questions, any comments? We're down towards the end of the show. It looks like we've been on for an hour. It's time to get out of here. If you got anything you want to talk about, any questions, let me know. Let Randy know. We'll be glad to answer them real
Yeah,
quick. Looking forward to your new segment next week, Randy. And
should be fun. Have some fun
Santa's
with
flight checklist is something that we'll try to hang on to for a few weeks and come up with some good topics.
it.
Again, that's what we're all about, is trying to bring and open your eyes and bring new stuff to you, things you may not have thought of, but things that cross our paths. And this was just one that jumped out at me when I was thinking about what I was going to do for this segment.
Good choice. Good
Uh,
choice.
Fantastic, man. Looks like the worst of it is past. That's
Yeah.
good. Just be on lookout. Keep your weather radio handy and or your TV on in case anything develops behind it. Yes, Rex. Looking forward to tomorrow night's show. It's going to be a fantastic show. Worked on the script. The show itself will be, and if you watched last year when Eric and Moesha was on, they did a funny little banter backwards and forth about how they met and how their lives had crossed in so many ways before they finally become a couple. But tomorrow night's show will be more of 10 different visits or jobs that they performed last year and a relative story to each one of those. And it's going to be super interesting. I cannot wait. And all right, great Monday afternoon show. Thank you, Charlie. Appreciate you very much. Congratulations on the win for the trivia question. You will be getting one of these keys from Santa Wade and Mrs. Claus Scarlett. I don't know if you can see or if that shows, but these are cool little keys. And Spangle will be sending that out because Tom sent us a bunch of those to send out until Scarlett and Wade got established. So we'll get that out to you. Okay. Are you ready to get out of here? Let's see. Parker says, I am bleaching tomorrow. I have my first photo shoot in 2 weeks, and I have a promo shoot in June. Hey, it's great to be busy this time of year.
Yeah, that's great.
Speaking of bleaching, my wife done mine last night. Looking better, looking better. It was pretty dark up on top. Got all. I do my mustache and beard. She does my hair. All right, look at there. There's Erica Moesha. Great information shared today. Thanks, everyone. Looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow night and get that 1 minute video. And it's something I'll have to talk to y'all about before we get into the show tomorrow night back in the green room. We're probably going to have to share a screen to get that done. So I'll walk you through that before the show starts. All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining us on a Monday. Randy?
Thank you again, everybody, for joining us. Remember, invite your friends, invite everybody to come see the Monday and of course Tuesday night show. Thank you again, everybody. Let me do Santa Shorts. And next week is starting Magical Moments. Most of all, stay safe, stay healthy, and again, most of all, stay magical. Thank you guys so much for being a part of our Monday afternoon. Thank you. You guys
Absolutely.
are
And
wonderful.
thank you, Randy, for the help. Randy is part of the family, and he has so graciously went out and started helping me bring in guests for the Tuesday Night Live show. Thanks to his help on several of those guests that we have lined up, his work is greatly appreciated. You're such a great man. Love you to death, man. Good to have you. We'll see you next week, Monday. See you tomorrow night on Tuesday night. Thanks, guys.